Money Radio, discussing the business of making and spending money.
Hello there, welcome to the transportation sector of Money Radio. My name is Winifred Webo, and it sure feels good to be hosting you this Friday afternoon. With me in the studio, as you can see, is an in-house analyst, ADK. Thank you so much and welcome once again to the program. Well, viewers, last week we were looking at overview of the transportation sector, and now this week, today on the program, we are looking at focus on the aviation sector. As this administration, President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration, went to a close in just 10 days' time, we want to look at how the aviation sector has fared. And the background to the story is that last week we heard that the federal government, apart from renamed Ministry of Aviation to Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace, federal government executive council approved the change of nomenclature of the Federal Ministry of Aviation to the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace with immediate effect. This was revealed by the special advisor to the Minister of Aviation, Dr. James Udaudu, in a statement on Thursday. He said the new nomenclature is in line with the nature of the sector being under the exclusive management and regulation of the federal government. Also, the statement added that the concession of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, and Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, Makia, Kano, has been approved by the Federal Executive Council. That's the news. And of course, as for discussion today, we also have a leading story on that, on the aviation sector overview on the Guardian newspaper today. It says ministers cost 100% on failed carrier MRO airport concessions. Of course, it's a big story in the Guardian newspaper. Now, educate, it's just 10 days to the exit of this administration, and we are having this change of nomenclature of the Ministry of Aviation and concessioning of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport and Aminu Kano International Airport. What are your views on that?
It's rather unfortunate that we are dealing with people who think they can outsmart Nigerians. You've been in power for the past 8 years. He's one of the ministers that was not removed. He started with Buhari and is ending with Buhari. So he has 8 years to do everything. And he didn't do it. He couldn't do it. This concessioning of the airport terminals has been an issue since over 7 years. The unions at the airport refused because they saw it as an avenue of taking the terminal and giving it to the minister and his cronies to manage. And so, which means some of them are going to lose their jobs because it's entered into a private company. Private people will bring in their people. So they resisted it, and they saw it as not been feasible for now. It was when they listened to the minister's opinion, they saw that the minister was not having enough reason to concession the terminals, so they refused. Now, what do? You are smartly, 1 week to expiration of the tenure of about 10 days, you smartly went to FEC and just came out and said they've approved everything. You convince the FEC, I don't know. Of course, it's easy to convince because they are going. You just initially you dish out to approve, and you want to put problem for the next administration. It's not going to happen. That's the fact. From experience, you can't do something. The people you say they want, nothing is in place. You can't just sign papers, give them papers and go. And you expect that the new administration begins by possibly in the next 2 weeks, you will have the new administration.
No, we just have 10 days.
No, you have a new government by May 29.
Yes.
The minister, I'm just saying give or take, by 2 weeks.
There are reports that the incoming administration president-elect is coming in
with the ministers in there.
by
So that's why I say give or take by the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
You should have a minister of aviation again.
Yes.
And you expect him to start on this kind of problems already.
Itike, I want to ask, why was it so much in the hurry? He has 8 unbeaten years, 8 unbeaten years, and even the nomenclature, changing it to Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace.
I was coming to that because I don't see any reasons. We've never even, it wasn't a part of the discussion. It just came out from nowhere. with immediate effect, you change from Federal Ministry of Aviation to Ministry of Aviation and
And
Aerospace.
aerospace.
What is aviation in the first place? Aviation covers aerospace and
Yes.
everything about aviation, about plane, about everything. The MRO, all of them are part of aviation when you discuss aviation. So why are you saying that Minister of Aviation, the Minister, and who was the name of that? It doesn't make sense to me. He's just looking for a way to say that when I was a minister,
I changed
I
the name.
changed the name. That is that. That one is just something useless that there's no need for that.
What?
Then we are talking about key policies.
Mm.
This the issue of concessioning is one of the key policies that he wants to bring here. He has failed in Nigeria.
Yeah.
He couldn't bring it
And
in.
that is what the Guardian, the Guardian said about after 8 years and 15.9 billion naira on Nigerian Air. What happened to the money? So the money just went down the drain. We are talking about 15.9
This
billion
minister
naira.
is one of the most traveled ministers. He travels all over the world, including Jamaica, to go and get what I don't know. Which experience are you get? That because you want to open one airline, that somebody will wake up and open Green Air, Green Nigeria Air, Green Air. We have Cali Air. These things were just done overnight without struggle. 2-3 years of planning and they do it. Then you want to set up an airline.
It took it.
8 years and all over the world you have traveled, including Brazil. There's no place that the minister has not gone to because of this Nigeria to get experience.
And at
You
the end
want to
of the
see
day, what
how,
happened?
and at the end of the day, you couldn't just keep your hands together. What is
15.9
keeping
billion
it?
went down the drain.
If you ask him now, he will say they are because of judge. That's you are part of the federal government. The judges are part of the federal government. And you couldn't come together. What is the issue? And arrange it. You couldn't. I've always said it that this court issue behind the scene, I believe that it was properly planned so that everybody that was part of this Nigeria Air fraud will say that it's because of the injunction that we couldn't settle. They say they have a structure in office. There's actually a structure in the airport. They say it's the office of the guy. Nothing is happening there. They say they were recruiting. They have an MD, they have this, nothing. We don't know what
There was
is
no
going
activity.
on. The last time I spoke to the estate, to the minister about this, he said, okay, we know we are federal government. If the court issue is lifted today, the issue about recruitment and really everything will be settled out. Is it magic? And you have to train them, you have to do everything. Are you going to pick the people who are already working somewhere else? I'm highly disappointed in this, and I think that they have captured it in a perfect way.
It's called 700% unfailed carrier,
Yes.
MRO, airport concessions. These are issues that they are bringing
There
up. That
yes,
why
MRO
would you score yourself 100% of
It,
fake carrier?
it was a shameful thing the day he granted this interview when he said we were together in Transcorp at a function. He said he has performed 100% in everything except part of it. The MRO, so many of us who actually understand it, we are looking
Yeah,
at ourselves
the
and
sector
asking,
very
what is this? Is it that he doesn't understand or he's not ashamed of what he has done? You set out to do aviation university, you come to that.
yeah.
And you couldn't do it. You just quickly signed one for MROs, there is no MRO. Apart from the ones we had, private ones owned by one Malame and Co. These are the things. Nigerian concessioning, you wanted to concession the 4 international airports. You couldn't do it. Now, 10 days or 12 days to your going, you quickly sign the paper and you say you have done it. And it was not properly done. We've not seen reaction from the unions, we've not seen reaction from Nigerians, we've not seen anything. The incoming
And the
government,
unions not aware.
yeah, of course,
Because they
they
signed-
made their stand. They said they are not supporting it and they will stand against it till the end. That is why the minister went from this fight to approve it. So which means fight approved is a paper. We've approved. But what about implementation? It's not going to happen. It's going to be a big issue.
No,
Because if this
what we are saying, from what you are just pointing out, is it not going to cause a problem for the incoming administration, which is about to take up in
in
10
fact,
days?
there are going to be legal issues because you're going to give these companies certificates that you properly concession their airport. They are going to go to court with that certificate if the unions or any other person resist it, or even if federal government tomorrow says they are not doing it, they will go to
Yeah.
court with it. Now, from the information available, we are hearing that Abuja Airport was concession for 20 years.
20 whole
For
years,
just $7 million.
$7 million.
7 million. Uh, 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 uh,
That's a poetry song.
that's the part
20
of
years.
this Amino Kano International Airport, 1.5 million for 30 years. Now, what are we talking about? This is an airport that these are, in fact, apart from Port Harcourt, apart from Lagos,
Mm.
these two airports are
And the
the most
Bible,
viable ones.
yes, they are
And you just give it as like 20 and 30
20 years.
for factory sum of campus. And these are the airports that you invested, you borrowed 500 million naira
Mm.
and invested 100 million naira on each of these airports. Abuja, Lagos, Kano, Kaduna,
100
Enugu,
million dollars.
100 million, 100 million, 100 million on each of them.
Dollars.
Dollars.
Okay.
And now $500 million was borrowed actually for them, five of them.
Okay.
And you invested 100 in each of them.
In each of them.
And now you're giving it to us for 2 years. Are you telling me
20
that
years and for just
are you
7.
telling me that in the next 20 years, FAN that is currently managing that thing, the terminals, cannot raise that amount? Now they have a projection of getting $4 billion in the next 20 years. That's their projection. So you're telling me that with what we have on the land and the way we are going, even with the corruption in the Nigerian system, FAN will make times two of that amount.
Yes.
So what's the essence? You know when you come up with concessioning, what people look at is that they're bringing in professionals who will improve
Yes.
on everything, give Nigeria more money, and we have a better situation. Now, from your projections, even the local fan can get that amount and double it.
So what
So
was
what is the reason
essence
for
of?
the
I
giving?
mean, this is absurd. Hearing this from you that you actually concession these airports, these
busy airports
busy,
for,
second
for nothing.
late Amadi, that is
Everything that everybody that is going to Kano,
Murtala Mohammed Airport in Lagos. This
yes,
second to it, that is Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport. For a paltry amount,
Then-
far less than what you loan, what you borrow.
what you borrow. Then the Kano on every, Kano serves the north.
Yes, it does.
Is the major place where they use for international travel and
Yes.
everything, apart from the people in Abuja.
Mm.
So what are you saying? You now give it up like that, and you are.
This is a story that we just have to continue. They are asking us to go a break. What viewers, we are going on a break. When we come back, we are going to be talking more on these vexatious issues in the aviation sector. Don't go away, just stay tuned.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast.
Money Radio, discussing the business of making and spending money.
You're welcome back. In case you're just joining us, this is Transportation Sector of Money Radio, a program on Leadership Television. My name is Winifred Weber, and as you can see, I have an in-house guest for this Transportation Sector Money Radio program, and he's AGK. AGK, thank you so much once again.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, just before we went on a break, we were talking about the hurriedly positioning of Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport and Aminu Kano International Airport, which is terminals, which is generating controversy across the country. Of course, the Guardian newspaper today also did an in-depth story analysis on the program, which is how many pages on that investigation issues. And let me just take a quote from it. He said the Establishment Act of these agencies provides for the existence of these boards. In other words, the boards were not inaugurated during his 8 years as the Minister of Aviation head sway, who see to the day-to-day running of the agencies in consonance with the act establishing them. And without the existence of these boards, the minister becomes the alpha and omega, de facto and de jure controller of the agencies. And that is where we have found ourselves in these past 8 years, where probity, accountability, and transparency are taking the back seat. Now, Ejike, you have been a major key player in the sector. Can you just share some of your experiences? What has it been like? Just
I will take this quote.
okay,
Take this quote.
okay. There's
Let's
another
react
quote
to
that, of course, they talk to some stakeholders in the sector, and one is said to have said, "I'm surprised that he awarded himself 100% score for the roadmap. Sadly, he came in as an insider and professional, but clearly missed the runway and crash landed on his promises to the industry at large. It's so painful for some of us who love him so much to witness these episodes of unfulfilled promises. He should score 3/10 because of the on the overall, aviation is worse off than he met it." Wow, how
That's
true.
why I say you should take it so that we
Yes.
join two of them. This the man that is a professional. That's what I
Yes.
wanted us to bring. That. He's a pilot, a trained pilot. He has been in the Nigerian aviation system for a while.
Wow.
He
It's got to
understood
understand the
thing.
system.
He was trained. He understood. He has operated. He has flown planes. He knows the issues.
Mm.
Now, on the other hand, it's related to the president,
Yes,
which means he has direct access.
access to the president.
He has no hindrances. There's no excuse for him to have messed up the president in all the places. Now, he knows that we needed board. What was the functions of board? They just help to check with the
Yes, that's
MDs and the directors of this company
Yes,
so that
the
when you are
SSs.
going
Mm.
astray, they'll bring you back.
Mm.
These checks and balances, no matter how corrupt the system, it still helps to manage it.
Yes, it does.
Because but this minister made himself, since he didn't have all these checks and balances, made himself so powerful that
No one could
I can
challenge
tell you
his,
that when the minister is around in Abuja,
his orders.
the MD of FAN will stay in the office as if he's one of the PAs.
Mm.
There was a very vibrant MD of FAN, Mr. Dunuma. He was very vibrant. The minister came in. And the next thing, because he understood the system, the next thing, I think, after a while, they removed the money. And they brought in this current Captain Yadu. And Captain Yadu, every time you go to the ministry and the minister is around, just look around and see the MD of FAN. And it's one of the biggest agencies under that field, managing all the airports in the
Airport, yes.
They are
Control of
delivering all the airports in the and you always get good. Now there are inside stories that the revenues that are credited to these people are being used on a daily basis as they want, on the advice or the direction of the minister. We don't have a board, so nobody to checkmate you. Do anyhow you fan. After fan, you have NCA.
Would you say that the non-inauguration of board for aviation sector was deliberate, seeing the fact that he is related to the president, the outgoing president?
Everything the new person does is relevant. You can't say he didn't know that issue.
For 8 years.
I think there was a board at some point. I don't think it's the whole of it.
Yes.
But we know that you needed them. It's a matter of constitution. It's in the act establishing them that you need a board.
Yes.
But you refuse to inaugurate them. You brought it. I'm talking about the policies that you did that as so you collapsed, you made sure that the whole headquarters of the whole agencies are returned to Abuja. They were in Lagos. You brought all of them in Abuja. You sit in the federal secretariat, you call the MD of any of them, and they will just come and sit with you. And you make sure that you indirectly the minister was running the agencies, which is not supposed to be so. Now, at the end of the day, we are having a system that everybody, it's not only the minister that is failing, it's not only the minister that is failing, the agencies are also failing.
Yes, not just like what you mentioned earlier. That's what the Guardian has in his report, that many unions are already warming up for a showdown, that aviation workers have registered this displeasure against the federal government's plan to concession for major airports, and the workers under the aegis of National Union of Air Transport Employees and all others, they are already shown it as self-serving and anti-Nigerian. Now, we're talking about, before we went on break, we were looking at the incoming administration and what is going to contend with. How is it going to play out? Has this concession agreement, has it been released to the public?
We don't need to release. they've done everything. Now they've announced the final stage. That's the concession airport. Yeah. What they need to do is to give the companies that want the bid. They will now move into the airport. That's their thing.
So now, what will now be the role of the fan?
No, fan has other things. Fan has abstract. Fan controls the whole of the airport. But now these people are just coming in from terminal. So everything that happens in the terminal will be controlled by them.
But how, Nigerians, why I'm asking this is that Nigerians have signed the MOUs or signed these agreements that at the end of the day, getting out of it, we are something that's always brought on heavy penalties for the country. So how are we sure that this one too will also not be like that?
If you remember when I said it that we're going to have issues, it's a must. Because the minister has set the ground for progress. We will quickly sign this thing, even though you know that the unions are against us and they still sign it. So definitely when the new owners or the new managers of the terminals come in, which will be any moment from now, they are going to have problems, not even one, with the unions, with everybody working at the airport. And remember, these airport unions are so united. Like you're fighting one, the whole of the airport is shut down. And without the union, without the workers, you can't do anything. Even if you're going to recruit your workers and say don't join the union as a private person, if they shut the airport down, your workers cannot leave. And they still control the outside and every part of the airport. So it's a big issue. You must have that agreement between the two parties before you can do federal government and the union before you can do it.
That's one of the duty legs that they set for the incoming administration. Now there's another issue we want to look at in aviation school in collaboration with Nine University. How far has that gone? And where are
That's
we?
another fraud. That's another fraud. The minister just woke up and decided that he was going to establish a university for aviation. And they start giving you see security land at the airport road. We've done this, we've done that. At the time, towards the end of class, they realized that you could not do it, or you will now be able to achieve it. Don't believe in it. Clear one to buy and told them to just create department, nation, aerospace, and this there. So they will now be having, and the other ones will be right courses. That's why I'm not sure. Why? What's the
Do
essence?
you think he just don't you think he wants to justify maybe the achievements of the administration? So that
You can't, but when you're not ready, you don't. You did that plans that are good, but you didn't have the capacity. Let me put it down. You didn't have the capacity to do it. I think you didn't have the right people to do it. Because even if you don't know how to go about it, you should get the professional who will help you to do it. Now, you just want to go out as a minister that established an investment. That they are not contributing. I will not be surprised.
they're just
I was saying it.
in the paper only.
Yeah, I was saying it
Or in
with
the
some
name.
colleagues last week. I will not be surprised that before May 29, you just see me on the other end. They'll just fly up, come down, and they will tell you that they are established and they are safe. And at the end of the day, after he goes, you will not see him. So I think that is where he's going to, and that is why I'm having issues. Why are you running into the space so that you say I did this, I did that, and you leave the space and that it doesn't exist again? It doesn't make sense. It's going to be
Why do you want to justify the huge amount of money that has been sunk into the aviation sector? But don't you think so?
I think that's apart from everything, money is part of it.
Yes.
Because you can't defend all the money that you took or that was given to your agency and they are not seeing anything. So all of these things are part of it. When they start proving the agency or the ministry now, you bring out the fire, I establish this, I establish this.
Thank you so much, Ejike. Now, before we go, I just want to ask you, just before we go, how would you score overall? You were to score the movie.
I will score him less than 10.
Less than 10%.
Less than 10. He did good. He was one of the promising ministers that succeeded. When the aviation was fused with transportation ministry and the rest of it,
Yes.
everybody shouted that it's too big, that they remove it. Second thing, they remove it. And then at the end of the day, then he was a minister. Supervising the
Yeah,
just as they say you're under the sun. You're having your budget.
and he was not even answerable to the
You're just having your budget and everything. Now they put you out food for it. So at the end of the day, just the minister moves. And I know the nearest to regret most of this.
very, very unfortunate. When our time is up, this is where we end today's transportation sector of Morning Radio. We'll be looking at the overview of the aviation sector as the President Muhammad Buhari led administration wants to a close in 10 days' time. Lady K, thank you so much for being part of today's program. Until I come your way again, same time next week, I am waiting for the football. Take care. Bye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.